Welcome everyone to another episode of the HappyCast. I'm one of your hosts, Andrew, joined by Stephanie. It's just going to be us two today.
Check out the
Dylan
YouTube if you want to see me looking fresh. I don't ever look like this on the weekend.
and Stephanie, why are you looking so fresh right now? What makes
Because I
you more
wash my
fresh?
hair once a week, and today was the hair wash day.
I did not know that. That's some like Victorian era stuff. Although I think that's like once a year, but it's neither here or there. But you know what? First and foremost, let's talk a little bit about where we are, what's going on, because it's been exactly 1 year since I've officially lived in Houston, and
Oh,
well, because I
I
want
thought you'd
to.
been there longer for
It
sure.
was. I actually technically dropped my stuff off here like early October last year, but then I fucked off to Moab for the 240 to help out and volunteer for like 2 weeks, and then made the long way home. So it's been about a year, and you are in the DFW region, Dallas Fort Worth still. And so what's
Yes.
going on? What's going on up there? Let's shout out our DFW listeners. It's where it all originated. Before we get into the meat of this episode, how's the DFW community? What's going on up there?
It's the busy time of the year for DDR where we do end of the year party. And then we've been kind of slacking on some of our responsibilities. Um, the divorce had me like behind, but we have our DDR end of year party set up. It's going to be in Allen, but everyone should show up because it's going to be at Armor Brewery December 28th at 2 p.m. If you want to come say hi, we'll have raffles hopefully because we have been slacking. But yeah, it's just like the busy time of the year, and it's like I'm gonna be traveling like every couple weeks because there's Girlfriends with Grits weekend, and then Tennessee and Arkansas, and off for a week. So I've got yeah, so it's just busy, busy time of year.
And it just every now and then I look on social media, see some of the people I literally was born into trail running with, like my forever pacer, Chad Turner, some of the other people. I know they were at Javelina. There's
Hallelujah.
just
This was a
like,
busy race weekend.
it was
You had
very
Rim to
busy.
River in West Virginia. I think it's, oh my gosh, I hope I said the right state.
It's the right race. I know that much. I don't
Okay,
even
Rim
know
to
the
River.
state.
Oh my God, that's gonna make me crazy because I don't know if I said the right state. And then Arizona was Javelina 100. Then you had Oklahoma, Lake Murray. You had Cactus Rose that was supposed to be at Bandera that got located to Camp Eagle. And I feel like there was another, oh, in Kansas, um, maybe it's Rails to Trails Extravaganza or Kansas Extravaganza that Jeff did 100K. He asked for a pace chart to do a 16-hour and he did 16:30. That's
It's,
really fucking
that's
impressive.
amazing. Also, you were right about the West Virginia for Rim River.
Okay,
It's the
good, good.
only 100 miler in that state, which means you have to do it.
And it's a
So.
lottery, but they do a lottery where 50% women are allowed in and 50% men. So the women have better odds of getting in because there's less women putting their name in.
This is the first time we've really talked about DFW stuff. This is more local. Just, I kind of miss it a bit. My sister, Amy Marvin, is more ingrained in
I
that
see her
community
more than
now.
you do.
That is insane. Well, I haven't even been up there in like
I
over
see her
six
more than I
months.
see you.
It's ridiculous. And she's now friends with the friends I was originally friends with, and she's becoming a runner quite herself. And we spent a good 2 weeks together. This is the longest I've spent with my family in a while in Ohio and Canada. And yeah, she is in great shape, super active. I'm proud of her. And I know she's doing the 50 whatever K it is at Texmas. Rob Goins returned to trail running.
Which is
So
the same weekend as Solimo.
I thought no. This is the one in this.
Texmas is this in December, the same weekend
Oh,
as my race, Spirit of
oh, no,
Silamo. Yeah,
okay. I'm sorry. I was thinking 3 days of Selmo. I'm like, what the?
no,
That's a Chris.
Spirit of Silamo, the
All of a
100 miler.
the Texmas, a Christmas trail run is suddenly in March. I was so confused for a second there, or April, whenever Selmo is, but 3 days of Selmo is. But yeah, so yeah, I missed them. It was a busy race week, and I was just seeing everyone that I grew up in the trail running community with doing all these amazing things. Because it was a busy race week, and we had Lake Murray 100. And I don't know anything about that. I could not find the tracking
Oh
for
my
that.
goodness, I was texting
So,
Will's wife, Heather. That's the only update
and
I've
Will's
got.
married. Like I've missed so much.
They've
Like
been
what is
dating
I
forever.
it's just
They
but
they've been
like
together forever.
Will Bryant was one of the original people I met when I first fell into trail running.
Oh, seriously?
When I did the 25K at Dinosaur Valley by myself without knowing
Oh,
anyone.
you know what?
I ran
That
into
was
Will
Oh my gosh, that was at the beginning. You're right. I met him when I first
pacing
started crewing and
Hans.
pacing 100 milers because my very first time pacing at Dino Valley and crewing, he did the 100 miler out there. I did meet him that time.
Yeah, and you were
I
helping
forgot.
Hans out. I saw
Yes.
Hans. Mainly remember Heather Gothard and Bam. But yeah, he was part of the original crew of people I first met when I was
Oh
my
my
first ever
God,
trail
that's
running event in 2020.
20. Yeah.
Yeah, end of the year. So like I'll never forget that. And so yeah, shouting out some
Back
this
before we were even a thing, back before
yeah,
Happy Endings was even a
because this
thing.
was this was November and I didn't meet you until a month later at Tyler State Park. So yeah, it crazy, and this podcast is getting pretty old. We're getting near 200 episodes now, and Dylan is very much still a part of this.
Oh
People
yeah,
don't think
we
he
can't do this
he's
without
the
Dylan.
reason that these even are being listened to right now, and
I had to hit him up for the DDR logo because
he is
Drew
such a busy
never,
man now.
yeah, no
So
one sent it to me. And I emailed Drew and then I emailed Scott Millman, but Dylan got it to me. So
he
yeah,
is
he's still even doing
still a
DDR
part
stuff.
of this, and he's still like we're gonna make him come on every now and then,
I want
regardless.
him
So.
to.
Does it give us some at least brief life updates and we both may need to start paying him to make sure he stays on because
Okay, wait.
I will I
Didn't I bring up
should.
last time how I'm poor? I the most sad thing happened this week that I had to sign up for my insurance, and it is fucking ridiculous for the high deductible um for teachers. It like literally doubled from last year.
Yeah,
Our premium. So that's okay. I
financially
still
hard
got it.
times all around, and
Yeah.
trail
I'm
running
like
is
trying
not
to
cheap.
go through all my subscriptions and seeing what I can cancel. What do I not need? And it's like I feel like I need everything. So we'll see. I'll be fine.
Yeah, podcasting is also not cheap, but yeah, but we're gonna keep going regardless. Dylan's still here, and yeah, this
He
is
is
gonna be
definitely.
a rare episode where it's just us two because This is the middle of race. This is peak race season around Texas and some of
Yes.
the hotter states, so it's gonna get a little busy. So let's take advantage of this. Stephanie, you're on your quests to tackle every state, do every 100 miler in every state, which means rim to river. You're gonna have to do.
I know it's on my
Unless
list.
you can find something else, find something else. Also,
I'm scared of it though now.
does this have to be an official race, or is it just any sort of 100 mile effort?
So I have done like fat ass Copper Kings. I did the Tulsa Urban. Oh my gosh.
I remember that one with Chuck.
But it was a
Yeah,
redo. Like it wasn't the actual race. They did a redo because it was too hot when they did it. So I mean, I've done some like off the book, stuff, and then I've done timed events. That's always interesting. So that's actually leading up until like what this most recent race was. It was not a 100 miler. It was a 30-hour event. Um, but the course was like big laps. So normally you don't have this. So the lap is out 7.5 miles and back approximately. It's shorter to get out, but then when you come back, you run past the start line and then you turn and come back to the finish. So it's 15-mile laps. So, and this I want to say this one's been around for a long time. Let's see if I can find it quickly since I'm not as
And you weren't the only one from the community, the local community, show up.
yes. So this has been around since 2009. I don't think they've always had the
2009.
30 hour. No, they haven't always had the 30 hour. Um, why am I doing this right now? Because I need
She
they
got
did
this.
a
She
100
has to.
miler in 2012, and then they did the 100 miler for a few years, and then they started doing a 30 hour. And so it's 15-mile laps, but it's out and back, not loops. And then the seventh loop has to be a 10 miler. So the seventh loop is cut short. You turn right after the aid station. I have never, what I didn't realize is I've done timed events. I've done fast, flat hundreds. I've never done a fast, flat hundred that was not in heat or humidity. All my 100 milers had some kind of heat or humidity. The first time I did under 24 hours was actually in like 12 hours of rain. So it's like there's always been some kind of weather condition. This weather condition was perfect. There was aid stations like every 4 miles, 4-ish miles. So it's like you didn't have to like ruck a lot of water. And then having being back at your vehicle or your drop bag or your can't start finish every 15 miles, you were not wasting a lot of time because I mean I feel like 15 miles is a solid time before you stop and like sit for 2 seconds. And so the weather was perfect. And I was a little cautious because it was 4 weeks post that New Jersey race that I won second place in by 7 minutes or whatever. And so um, my goal was I didn't know if I wanted to do 115 or PR or just do sub 24. And when I was talking to Ed at Horseshoe, he was like, "What would you want to walk away saying? Do you want to walk away saying I got a PR?" And I was like, "No, I could care less if I PR. So that shouldn't be a goal because that's not something I would be like, oh, look, I got a PR." Like, and I was like, I have to go for the 115. At the time, um, on Ultra Sign Up, no one had hit 115. But since they have changed like the format of how they've done the race, if you go on the race website, not Ultra Sign Up, they have the records listed, and there were two females that had hit 115 miles in under 30 hours. So one person was like 24 and some change. I was never going to be able to beat her. The other one was like 27 and some change, and I was like, I'm never going to be able to beat her. So I never had intentions of beating their goals. That was just like that ended up happening, one of them. So I just wanted to go for 115. And then I got to thinking and I was like, here I am telling people that I want to do 115. What if I don't do it? And then I was like, act like a man. Men say they're going to do shit all the time that don't do it. Like they can go into a race confident. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. So I was telling people, and then, I was talking to people at the beginning of the race. Everyone's goal was just 100 because so that seventh loop is 10 miles, but then loop 8 has to be 15. It's the way the system records your laps. Like that's the only option. And so I was like, I have to either go for 100 or I go for 115. And at mile like 49, I was like, I can't fucking do it. I don't want to do that last 15. This is horrible. Like, and then by mile 55, I was like, okay, we're still in it. We're not saying no. This just may, be harder than you thought. The course was extremely flat. I think I would say it's a more technical than a rails to trails because it had roots like Rocky, like Rocky's flat, but and I would not consider Rocky technical, but it's not like normal rails to trails, I guess. I would not say it's technical. It was super runnable, and that was, the cool part. And then did the marathon in like under 5 hours, the first marathon. And then I was like, we are going too fast. Because I had all these pace charts. And so I just basically, my goal was, sub 30 hours, 115 miles, and I stayed like over an hour ahead of it from the very beginning. And so, or maybe not from the first loop, maybe 30 minutes the first loop, but I just kept gaining time on it. And so it was like after a marathon, I was like, I have to slow down. And I started an interval timer. So here's the thing, you are never alone, ever. There was 355 people in the 30-hour event. There was also like different 30 miles, 15 miles going on during the day, at night, the next day. So there was always people out there, um, which meant this was unusual for me. I was using porta potties. I was not going to the bathroom outside because it's an out and back. So you have people coming from both directions. It was hard to drink water. Like I had to intentionally drink water because it was just so cold or comfortable. I wasn't having to be like, oh, I'm so thirsty. And I sweat the whole time, and I did not chafe, and I was wet the whole time. So I've written some notes to myself about how I avoided it because that's like unreal for me, like to have nothing at all. Um, and then the best part was they had Halloween decorations up. And so they had some during the day and then they added more. So you would see like a skeleton or they had these two skeletons sitting on a bench with a bottle of Fireball. And it was like 2:30 on Saturday and the bottle was full. But by 11:30 on Sunday, the bottle was almost empty. I have it in my race report, the pictures of just like how everyone just started taking fireball shots out there. They had a huge camp. So any type of race where you have a huge presence at like a tent city where the people that were supporting were like, "Hey, take a shot every time you came in." Lots of good support. And they also had a relay, a 30-hour relay. So there was 355 people in my event, but there was a ridiculous number of people out there the whole time. So you were never alone. I would talk to a few people, but with the whole like doing intervals, you can't really stay with someone when you're trying to like purposely slow yourself down. And I kept like trying to pull back and trying to pull back. Um, and I did run the first couple miles with John Pace. He just happened to sign. He met Courtney Martin years ago, and she convinced him to come out and do this race. And we signed up separately, not knowing that we were going to be out there. So that was awesome. They camped and slept in a tent the night before, and it was so cold. I was so glad that I stayed in a hotel. Um, and so I broke down my times for my splits because I think this is so interesting. So it's 15-mile laps. I did a 2:42 and then 2:59. So pretty much within a couple minutes, every lap I gained, I was 20 minutes slower. And I think that's pretty good because I'm taking the stop between laps. So 2:42, so 2:43, 3:20, 3:40, and then I did 3:50, and that was because I had a pacer. So she was going to pace me on the fourth lap, and then when I was in the middle of the day, I was like, "Oh my God, she's not pacing me on the fourth lap. She's pacing me on the fifth lap." And so she paced me, and I was only 10 minutes slower. And then the next one, so 3:40, that should have been four, but it was 3:50. And then I did 4:20. So I was still consistent when I was back on my own. And so at that point, I was at mile 90. And then I went and calculated the split for that 10-mile section and then took that pace over 15 miles, and it would have been 4:10. So I actually ran that last loop 90 to 100 faster than the pace I did before. But I was kind of falling apart. 75 to 90, I was by myself. Um, and I say falling apart. It was night. I was fucking around. I was calling people. Ben was like, "Why are you texting so much?" I'm like, "Because intervals are fucking boring." So it's like I'd run for 3 minutes and then I'd have a minute and I would like, message people to like, just keep company. Um, Going into the night, I did call Jenny because I was like, I don't want to change clothes. I don't feel cold. Everyone's saying it's going to be cold. And that goes back to, um, it depends on how you move at night. So then it's like carry, change clothes, put on dry clothes, carry a jacket. You don't know if you're going to start moving slow. I was just like, I've never had the opportunity to have good enough weather to just like test my limits, I guess. And so then from 75, when I got in at 90, I said, "Hey, I have 10 more miles and I want to go for 115. Can y'all find me a pacer?" I was like, "I may cry, we may laugh. I have no clue what I'm going to be like." And so I went out, and at mile 95, I was like ugly crying. And I was behind on calories, and these fucking skeletons are fucking with you because you see them in the distance and you're like, is that a human? Or is that like is that one of the things they have? And they had these so multiple sections they had like lit up. So when you got to the turnaround to come back around to that turnaround aid station, they had like candles lit in like milk jugs, which was awesome. They had this one section, my favorite section, had pumpkins, but then overnight, they put candles. And you know what? It was so cool. The candles were scented and it was amazing until it wasn't. So by the end of the day or by Sunday, I was like, I can't do the smell. You couldn't eat during that section. Um, it was just like very overpowering. And I swear, once I got home, I was still smelling the candles that were lit. Like I smelt it in the rental car. I got off the plane, I smelt it like it was burned in my nose. Okay, so I asked for a pacer, and they, when I came back through, they were like, "Hey, David will pace you," and he looks at me. He's like, "Well, do you want me to?" And I said, "I will take you. Go change clothes." He was in jeans, and he's like, um, "Give me 8 minutes." And then when he was done, he's like, "I've been waiting on you to come in." I was like, "Whatever." I said I was gonna be here at 9, and I was there at like 8:38 or something. So I was ahead of what I was planning. So my first 100 was sub 24. So then that last loop, he's 57 years old, and he kicked my ass. I mean, I was already at 100 miles, and we were still running intervals, and I was like, "Hey, if we do an 18-minute pace, I can beat that second place course record. Let's just, take it easy." And like my miles were like 13, 14, 13. I'm going to look it up because I sent it to a friend. So I thought I. But have you ever done it with big loops? Like you can't fuck off too long. So this year I got third. There was a fourth guy that finished 115 like 10 minutes after me. So had David not pushed me that last loop was 4:04, and that was waiting for him to change clothes. Like that's how hard he pushed me, faster than my other two loops. Um, so we did 13:03, 13:51, 14:07, 14:52, 15:06, 16:02. Like, and I had told him I needed to do 18-minute miles. Okay. Then when I hit 110, I was like, I can't run anymore. We're speed walking. Like, I can't do this. Um, but our speed walking 15:01, 15:07, 16:19, 14:47, and then my last pace for the last a third of a mile was 12:34. Like he he pushed me so hard, and I kept saying, "Oh my God, I can't do this." But then I was like, "But you are doing this. So you can't say you can't do this, like you're doing it. If you couldn't run, you wouldn't run." And so, and he was listening for my breathing and trying to find that, because he's never paced before, so he's trying to find the fine line between pushing and not pushing too hard. He absolutely could have pushed me harder, but I would have broken before 110. And so now I'm just like, I think my average pace was like 14:25, and for sub 24 it's 14:35, my lapsed pace. So it's like I ran 115 miles in a sub 24 pace, and now I'm like, oh my god, what else can I do? But the conditions were perfect, so I ended up finishing 27:42, and so I beat um I'm the second fastest female to ever do it, and then I was the third overall this year. So there's four of us that did 115. Because here's the thing: if people do 100, like the first female, she did 118 something and some change. The course record the year before was like fifth, not the course record. I don't know the course record for the 100 miler, but last year the 100 miler was done in like 15:20 by the female, or 15:40 or something. So I knew I couldn't compete there. But in my 100 miles, I got fourth female. So I was competitive. I just chose to go back out. People don't want to go back out for 15-mile loop. If it's a half-mile loop or a 5-mile loop, you know what I mean? It's different. But it was a 15-mile loop. Like, you have to really want, like, there were people that stopped at 90, like, because I mean, you have to really want it. And
How
so, and I
hard was this for you once you hit basically 100? Like,
Okay, so first of all, my favorite song, not, well, my song came on that said, I feel fucking fantastic when I was hitting 100. And I felt fine, but I needed a pep talk. I called Ben, and my pep talk was I said, I need to go in to mile 100 with the idea that I'm coming back out whether they have a pacer for me or not. Like, that was the thing. It was like I did not want to go back out alone. I had done 25 miles since my last pacer. Like, I didn't want to go back out alone. And so but I had to make that decision that even if they didn't have someone, I was going back out. And maybe that's why it worked out so well, because I was prepared to go back out. But knowing I had someone with me, it was just like, okay, we can do this. Like, this is way better than what you were thinking. Um, it was, there was moments when I was like, I can't do this. But then here's the other thing. When I was between mile 95 and 100, I passed three people that were like, "Are you getting it? Are you gonna get the 115?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, how many people did I tell this to? Like, why was I was doing it for all the women that don't think they can do something. I never in my wildest dreams would have thought I did 115 sub 28. Like, I cannot even wrap my head around how I even did that. So that's where it's like, and I didn't think I would do it in sub 30. So that's where it's like having these conversations that even if you don't think you can do it, just fucking go for it and say it out loud. Tell people you're going to do it. Like, we're going to fail. I mean, I literally can tell you about my Lake Murray DNFs, my Silamo DNF, my Lou Guru DNF. Like, I have DNFs in me. So it's like, but I'm the same person that can finish this and win this race. And I just feel like it was cool because I was able to compete in a big race versus, just there's 10 women. And here's the deal. I want to say, I wrote it down. Two, 200 of the 355 were females. So it was like, it was a significant number of females. And I did fourth in the 100-mile piece. And then, so I'm pretty ecstatic about this 115. Um, just for all the people that we don't think we can do it, like, go for it. Like, and then John Pace, so he had only done a 50K years ago. He hadn't ran more than like 16 miles in the last few years.
so before you get further into who all from DFW or who you knew did
That's it.
entered into this race?
That's it.
John
John
Pace?
Pace.
It was you and John
Right.
Pace?
Hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
And
John
his friend
Pace.
Courtney, who was local.
So John
And
Pace's background, he was one of the also first people I've ever met. He was one of the first people I ever met during my 50K at Running the Rose, and he has overcome some injuries, and he is the Texas Beer Runner. So his background is also pretty amazing as well. But yeah, like I was very excited when I saw that he was at this race with you as well. So yeah, I just wanted to chime in on that.
yeah, so he's done multiple 50Ks within weeks of each other years ago. He got injured. Um, and came back. And when he came back, he wanted to do fast. So he's done fast. And I think he said 16 miles was the farthest he's been in the last few years. So he doesn't want to come out for a 50K because he's done a 50K. So I was like, just take it slow from the beginning. And he's like, I don't know how to run slow. But he did. And he did 45 miles and then went to sleep. And then the next morning, like he came flying by me to get his last 15 or 17 or whatever. And he got 100K in. And I'm just like, and he got a strong 100K. Like he finished so strong the next day. That was the thing. You know, you went through the night and then in the morning, people would pass you and they'd be like, good morning. And I'm like, the only people saying good morning got some fucking sleep. Because all of us that had been overnight, we were just like had been through some shit. We were not saying good morning, and I think that was the hard thing too. Is I, um, everyone was so friendly. Everyone had costumes on. Everyone was amazing, but I cannot talk to that many people. I can't say hi to that many people. And there was part of me that was like, I would like do a head nod or, a thumbs up. I tried to acknowledge, but it's hard to say good job when you are seeing that many people on that level. Um, so that's where it was. I hope no one thought I was rude. We had lots of fun. If I finish my two for this year, I'll be at 25. But I'm still scared of that Silamo because I would DNF'd it. Okay, so here's the crazy part. This next one has a 32-hour cutoff, and I was like, oh my God, I'm scared. And I'm like, bitch, you ran 115 miles in under 28 hours. Like, I have the ability to maintain at the end. And I'm so spot on with like um, how I pace and how I do slow down, but I slow down at a point where I'm still running. Um, so it's just like I need to remind myself whenever I'm like, oh my God, it's got a 30-hour cutoff. Can you finish? Be like, yes, we can finish. I'm not going in overly confident. It's like, but there's a little bit settled because I know that I can dig deep. I can have that moment like when I had that moment of weakness where I was like, I need my pep talk, I text Ben and Augustine. I said, somebody needs to call me. Like, I just need to get my head straight before I go in because if I go in waiting, and that's when Ben was like, the 100 miles is behind you. This is now a 15-mile race. Don't see it as 115 because if you're looking at every mile as a mile past 100, it's so much harder than just saying you're just running this 15. Um, so it's just a mind fuck. And I'm just like proud of myself for coming this far and like with all the stuff. Like I just can't believe and when I was telling people and I was like, talking to myself and saying you shouldn't be telling people. And then I'm like, I I channeled Amy Jacobs because I was like, she called her Dino Valley course record on her first 100 and she did it and she just went out and she did it. And I'm like, and I messaged her afterwards and I messaged Ed too. And I'm like, having you out there, women can do it. You can say something and follow through. We don't curse it by saying it. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's where the way I've come, like how I've come around. You can set a goal and not curse it by going after it. But I still never thought I was going to do it in sub 28 hours.
Yeah, so Amy Jacobs, like seeing her at Dinosaur Valley, that's the first time we met her. Like, she was not only confident, but just the way she carried herself throughout the entire race. Like, it was insane. It was just like, it looked like someone that was having the perfect race, but that's just how she carries herself. Just the way she goes into every single race. It's like she's going to do what she set out to do. And she also did javelina this past weekend as well. Now I know she didn't hit the goal she wanted to, but she is just
She did top 20 female, and that's a
yeah.
huge competitive
It's
field.
she, still 19-ish hours and
PR'd. She PR'd.
yeah, but it's just amazing and it's also just we joke or I joke specifically just like, "Oh, what state did you run in right now?" Like we don't even know what races you're doing right now. Um because we joke about becoming numb to it, but we're not really numb. It's just we expect it from you and we're not surprised that you're able to do so well now. Like
And
it's
that's what's
just
crazy. I'm doing so well in like other states. Like I'm showing up. And I think that's the thing too, is like when I first started this whole journey, I kind of thought I would do it sloppy. Like just get a finish, just get a finish. But every race I've been able to like zone in and being like, okay, so what's our goal? Whether it's to be competitive with the people around me or be competitive with myself. What's the challenge? Is, the one without music, like whatever, what is going to be your crutch on this one? Um, it makes me want to see what else is out there. But it's like, yeah, do the scary thing. I still
so
don't think I want to do a 200, but
yeah,
I
I
do want to
think I
test some
think
more
you're
mids.
slowly inching towards it as everyone's kind of like set. You've been on your feet long enough to get near the crutches of at least the easier, flatter 200s, like with Cruel Jewel. As you approach the 40-hour mark, you're getting close to like in your endurance is insane. Like you did 115 miles and the time that you did it in, it's like, oh, you could inevitably do 200 miles in less than like about 50 hours. Like
Oh my gosh.
depending on the race, like the Cowboy 200, there's some flatter rails to trail stuff that you've obviously shown that you're capable of doing. So I think
Well,
it'll
here's
eventually get there. I think this is your priority, which it should be, because it's pretty cool to say that you did 100 miles in every state. I don't think you should go out of your way just to do. But you know what? Like if you find a
need it.
200 like near the end of this list that qualifies for that like 100 miler for every state, then it's a growing distance, but it's very niche as well.
So here's something. So first of all, my body was good. Like my legs um didn't hurt. I went roller skating the next day. I took Lola running a mile and a half the day after that. So I got two flights. I got one for Sunday night. Originally, I got one for Sunday night because I was like, it's a flat one. You won't need the 30 hours. You can fly home. And then I was like, well, if we're switching our goal to 115, we need a flight on Monday. Well, I finished that 115 so fast, I flew home Sunday night. I still cannot believe I did this. I had a 2 hour drive. Okay. This is not, and I was like a little paranoid about my 2 hour drive, but I knew I would pull over. They don't have as many spots to pull over in other states like they do Texas. Like, so I talked to a lot of people on the phone. But I did pull over halfway, went to the gas station, and then I made it the 2 hours. I was like, I can check into this flight, like I'm gonna make it. So I go to put gas in the rental, and I threw the fucking rental car keys in the trash can, and
Oh
I was
my god.
like, how did you drive 2 hours with this brain fog? But my point was, if I drove then, it was daylight. If I waited till Monday morning, I would be flying or I'd be driving at like 3 a.m. And it's way harder to stay awake at 3 a.m. when you slept in a car. So I flew home Saturday or Sunday night and I canceled my Monday flight. So I was home in bed by like 11:30 midnight Sunday night. And so then Monday I kept the day off and I went roller skating and I was so proud of myself because my I didn't hurt anything. Um, but my gut took longer to recover than any race I've had, even the beginning ones. And so this is where, Andrew, I don't think I can step into that 200 miler territory because when I was at mile 90, normally I'd be like, we can just, get by on Mountain Dew. Like you can pull that shit. But at mile 90 in my head, I had 25 fucking more miles. And I was like, you better still eat. Mile 100, you are still eating. Mile 105, you're still eating. You have 10 miles. So I think my body was not prepared to eat over that many miles. And so I don't know how y'all do it. Like your gut has to
So
go at some
I,
point. You
I've
just
I've mentioned this before. Nobody runs 200 miles to race 200 miles. It's not like my longest run before I did my first 200 mile or like other outside of racing. Like I never did more than 20 miles. Like it's your mentality. It's you becoming mentally attuned. If you Stephanie were to sign up right now for a 200 miler, like be, between now and the race, you know you're doing 200 miles. Everyone's mentality, your brain, everything going on up here is aware that you are not done anytime soon. So you're not going to ever hit mile 100 and be like, your body's done, my gut's done, whatever's done. Like, oh my God, I gotta like this is all extra. No, you're aware. It's weird. You sign up for the distance and you're aware of that distance and you adjust to that distance, even if it's a distance you've never done before. Um, when I've done 200 milers and I hit mile 100, not once was I like, oh, it's like I'm always surprised. Like, hey, I'm at mile 100. I feel good. I feel relatively great, other than my
and
first
you
one at
still know you have
Moab.
another 100 and
Yeah,
something and
it's
it
just
doesn't phase
because
you.
like the whole time you're aware that you're gonna do it. When you're running a 100-mile race and you're near the end, of course, I'm the same way. I'm the same way with a 50K. If I'm doing a 50K race and I'm near the end of 50K, I'm like, there's no way I could do 100 miles out here. It's because it's not what I signed up for. It's a mental thing. But if you ever cross that bridge for a longer distance, like when you sign up for it, you will be prepared and your brain's prepared, and it's just an adjustment we do in our head, and it's subconscious and it happens to everyone. But yeah, I don't think
So
you need to do a 200. I just think you need to do whatever is appropriate to meet this requirement for doing your goal, which is doing all 50 states. So
okay, and then on the reverse side, since my stomach was upset, I couldn't eat. I didn't want to eat. I was like, normally I can eat something afterwards. I was like, fuck this. Like, I don't want to eat. I drove 2 hours. I tried to eat something at the gas station. Like, I just couldn't eat. I get on the plane. I normally sit in the back. I sat in the front so that I could get off the flight quicker because my dad was picking me up and it was going to be late. And I got sick. And I didn't know if I was going to throw up or shit my pants. I
mm,
didn't know if I was going to start my period because I was
nice.
cramping, which I was. I started Monday night, so that was part of it, like the premenstrual cramps. I got like pale and lost all my color and hot sweats, like I had a fever. And so I'm on the plane. I have not showered, and I'm having to peel off these muggy layers because my sweat. I'm just radiating stink, and I am the first row behind first class. This is so embarrassing. I went to the bathroom 3 times in 20 minutes because I was like, it's going to be more embarrassing if you shit your pants.
Mm,
So we don't care who's watching you go to the bathroom 3 times in a row. And then finally, I went and got the flight attendant, and I was like, I have never been sick on a plane, but I don't know what's going on with my body. Do you have some ginger ale? I think it could have been low blood sugar too, because I hadn't eaten. And so he's like, just sip on this. And he gave me a throw up bag. So I have to go. I've passed these people 3 times, front of the plane to the back of the plane. And I take my little throw up bag and my ginger ale and I go sit back down. It was so embarrassing. It was the worst flight of my entire life. That's the one thing I was like, it was, and so, I mean, it took a while for my gut to recover. I should have eaten something or tried to eat something, but it was like everything was, I wasn't feeling good. Um, but I made it home, and I rollerbladed the next, or roller skate the next day. So like you're mute, roller skate.
wow. So classic, like, you know,
Yeah, I've got
80s,
pictures and
90s.
everything, and I was moving well, and I roller skated more than I normally do when we have this event. Um, so it's just my legs were fine. It was my gut. I mean, and I didn't get hungry. I didn't get my appetite back until like Wednesday,
I
and
can
it never does that to
I
me.
can never eat after a long effort. 50K I can
Yeah, but
eat,
your
but
long
100.
efforts are more than mine.
No, no, but I'm saying like even like 50K I can eat. I love the 50K distance now. In fact, I think I'm gonna start doing more of the 50Ks. I may never do a longer distance than 50K from here on out. Who knows? But like 100K plus, cannot eat, cannot drink. I just don't want anything. I just want to slap somebody if they offer me anything for at least like a day and a half or so. Um, so
But I did not shit my pants on the plane.
I never come close to that. In fact, I've only used the bathroom on the plane like tw twice in my adult life. So
Well,
I'm
I didn't know what was going on with my body, and I was just
that's an
like,
insane thing to have. That's
I
why
just
they
wanted to sit on the
sell.
toilet, just sit,
You know they
like with
sell
nothing.
Imodium. They sell Imodium at the airports, which is
I was
in
already
every.
on the plane when it hit me,
They
and
sell
then
them
I'm
everywhere.
like, if my tongue starts lifting and I have to throw, like, I'm like, what would you do? It was so bad. I did not have an accident, but I thought it was gonna happen.
You know, it's funny we mentioned planes because a few times a year we go on a plane and um, half the time I don't know how to lock the. If I have to use the bathroom, I don't know how to lock a bathroom. I don't know, and so this is usually I don't lock it, and I'm just like I don't know how to lock it. Southwest Airlines, I don't know what is up with you. I can't lock here. It just it finally happened. Someone walked in on me this last flight,
No,
and
you did
yeah,
not.
someone. I'm just peeing in the toilet. I'll never shit on a plane. That's one thing, dude. I make sure I evacuate the
You don't
bowels
have to
beforehand.
then. If
Yeah,
you
but
think you're about to have an accident in a seat, you're gonna go use the bathroom.
yeah, well, we'll see. I kind of determined
And
at that
that
point.
goes back with the whole premenstrual thing. Like it could be like that's a whole nother. So that's what I'm saying. I was like, I didn't know what was going on with my body. All I knew is I was like radiating heat and I already stunk so bad. Um, what? Would you just ask Regina?
Opportunity to get Regina down here and involved in this podcast, right?
Because you don't want to talk about premenstrual.
No. So we haven't heard from Regina in a while, and so as we segue near the end of this episode, Regina, come on in. She's gonna join us now. So Regina Stephanie is 2 races away from being halfway through her 50 state challenge, and she's gonna finish these next two before the end of the year. So I'm gonna turn things over to Regina Massengill. Everyone, Regina, now's your opportunity to talk to Stephanie. Just we want to hear a life update from you. We haven't had you on the podcast in a while, so here you go, Regina. I'm turning over the headset to Regina. Here we go. Get in there. First of all,
Andrew, you are in your
I'm in my
underwear.
pajamas. Oh my god.
He's in his.
Is this going on YouTube?
Yes.
Oh no, no. Oh no. I feel like
I
I
was
have so
saying,
much power now.
I was saying I had issues on the flight home because I think I was like premenstrual, so I was like cramping and thought I was gonna shit my pants and the whole thing and low blood sugar and but I did not have an accident.
In
I
your
made it
in
home.
your last race?
Yeah.
Or that's all well, I mean, I'm glad you didn't.
I know that's the
It would
thing.
have
It's
made a
like
good story.
it makes a good story when you have to get up and go to the bathroom 3 times in 20 minutes. I feel like that's something like people don't realize, like just having feminine products in restrooms, like the porta potties. Everyone, thinks it's unnecessary, but you never know.
No, yeah. Especially like when you're out that long. Like I've run out so many times when I thought I had more than enough. And it's
Right.
nice to see them hanging there sometimes.
Yes. Did he really just get up and leave?
Yeah, he's upstairs. I hear the ice maker rolling, so I'm not sure what he's doing.
Making drinks for tonight?
Yeah, I'm dragging him out to track here in about 30 minutes, so hopefully
Are
he's
you doing the
getting some
track?
water. Yeah, it's just a threshold day today, so it'll be pretty easy. 3 minutes on, 1 minute off.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, I'm getting back into the swing of things slowly. I think my endurance is coming back quickly this time, but I need to work on my speed for sure.
I think that's the other thing that helped me was like one, I've been doing speed work at the track, but also like running with Lola. She's so much faster than me, and so I it's made me faster because it's like pushing. Like normally, I would just stay in a more comfortable pace, and then running with her so much, my comfortable pace is a little bit faster than normal.
Yeah, helps me
So
push it a little bit.
yes, and all that core strength. Like she has made my quads. Like when she goes to go after a bunny and she like sprints,
Oh my
and I
gosh.
almost um, die, you
Yeah.
know, just like breaking is built up my quads. It's like reverse tire drag. The
I
tire
mean,
is pulling
if it
me.
works, yeah, I bet you're building some serious core strength with all of that.
Oh, I am for real, and my quads are just like hefty, I feel like.
Popping. You're gonna
Yes.
need their own zip codes soon.
Yes. Okay, so let's wrap it up while he's off.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, I'm
is he right
here.
there?
Yeah, he came back.
I just want
Well,
Regina.
Regina, tell us I can't let it go. What's something that's been on your
Oh,
mind,
I can't
running
let.
or non-running related?
I think the obvious for me right now is gonna be Girlfriends with Grit. Hardcore planning that.
Week and a half
Yesterday,
out.
today, we're a week and a half out. I'm excited. We're going to El Paso with there. I think there's gonna be 13 of us, including a couple of moms. Your mom, my
Whoop,
mom.
whoop.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna run some trails. We're gonna hopefully not get lost. Hopefully not fall off any mountains. Um,
Hey, I'll download GPX courses too.
oh
I
heck
can
yeah,
navigate the slower group.
yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah.
What's on your mind, Stephanie? What can't you let go of?
Um, well, I'm gonna go with two things. One, Silmo's around the corner, and I'm scared of it, and I need to figure out who's gonna pace me.
Are you
It's gonna
doing three
be
days? Or are you doing
no, the Spirit of Silmo, the
the
100 miler,
100?
and I
Okay.
DNF'd it last year.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Um, so that's a starting to, and talking to Chuck, because Chuck and I are gonna drive out there together. Like we want crew, um, like Tennessee, the one that's next. I'm not stressing about crew because there's gonna be so many DDR people, but Arkansas, um, just the mindset. It's better than him in his underwear. We'll take. We'll.
Andrew just put an avocado on my head. I'll take it. Yeah, he's still in his underwear though.
Okay, so then my second can't let it go is I'm trying to um, learn to be alone. And so I have people that I can call and hang out with. And then I even had someone that wanted to hang out on Saturday, and I was like, I need to go challenge myself to just be alone, to go somewhere alone. And I did. And two people hit on me, and I'm like, I still got it. Because it's one thing to be like, oh, I could go pick up people in person, but to actually do it, and then someone bought all my drinks, and
Nice.
it's nice. Um, I mean, he did try to hit on me, and I was like, absolutely not, because you voted for Trump. And he's like, you're gonna be like that? I was like, watch me. No Trump voter will ever touch this body. Um, it's kind of nice to just like be at that point in life where I can be like, or just like, if someone doesn't reply to text, I have tons of people in my life that don't reply to text. Someone doesn't want to reply to text, that's fine. I'm not going to choose you. I already have a whole life full of people that don't reply.
Yeah.
So it's nice to just be like, I can either be alone or I'm going to find someone that like can match my
Absolutely.
energy.
Absolutely.
So, but I got receipts. I can still pick up people. I still look good in person.
I mean,
So
of course you do. Of course you do.
I know, but I haven't been out. That was my first time to like go be out, and I was like, I felt pretty good. So it went
Yep.
well.
Validation helps. I'll give you
Yes,
that.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, I'll hand it
Andrew, is
over.
he coming on to
Yeah,
give a can't let?
he's right here. I'll let him give his can't let it go.
Tell him to squat down so we don't see his underwear.
I have nothing to hide. I am unashamed. Yes, it can hear me. What's up?
Okay, so what's your can't let it go so we we can sign
I
off
apologize.
under
I
an
thought
hour.
I was going to sit down in this chair, but Regina's still here. So apparently she's going to run and track in her work attire. So yeah, why don't you remove?
Regina, I'll
Thank
see
you.
you in a week and a half.
Stephanie says she won't see you in a week and a half.
Stop.
Wow, is girl with grits, girls with grit?
Girlfriends with grit.
Wow, girlfriends with grit that soon? Wow, Jesus.
Yeah. Not this weekend, but
It's
next.
kind of a joke, but not a joke because it's materializing. We're doing guys with guns, apparently.
No.
It was
Seriously?
no, but it was a joke at one of our group runs. Like we're just like I don't know, but no, I'm excited for the girls with grit thing, and we've actually talked about the future of that and some exciting things. Hopefully, if this one goes well, for the development of that. But the main thing is, I am on day shift now. It is a
How
whole new world.
exciting.
It is amazing. I am excited. I have
You
more
said it's
energy.
only girls?
Wait, what? For day shift, or are we talking about girls with
Is
grit?
that what you said?
What? No. Did I say
Only
that?
days? You
Wait.
said it's only.
I'm on day shift now. Did I
And
say
then
with
you said it's only.
girls?
What was the noun you used?
I don't remember. We have to rewind. Dylan, edit this. We don't
No,
know.
good thing
But
this is being recorded.
no, it's not only girls. That would be way too much. But I'm back on day shift.
What? Huh? Huh?
That look in my field of
Lola's in here to
psychiatry.
tell you how it is.
Yeah, well, for those that work in psych, if you know, you know. But yeah, I'm excited. More energy that we have currently happening right now in Houston. A cold front is on its way.
Okay,
Right
Texas,
now.
it's not just.
It's
Houston.
just well, I only care about my current location. So, but yeah, I guess all of Texas. So our first cold front's coming here. It's gonna be 49 degrees in the morning. Holy shit!
Oh my god, I have to run by myself. So do I wear long sleeve? Oh my god.
Do
I'm
I
not wearing cape.
run? Do I even wake up in the morning? That's
I don't want
to
know.
be determined. I have to go to work. You will know because I'll pronounce it on Strava if I wake up. I've yet to run in the morning before work since switching to day shift, but I tell others that I'm just recovering from night shift, so hopefully tomorrow will be the start. But yeah, which is why I'm only going to watch Regina run at track and not partake in track. So things are looking good. I'm number 1 or 2 on the Black Canyon 100K waitlist. That could be my return.
You know I'm going to be out there.
The only reason I'm even that high up is because the last person to sign up was our friend Jessica Schiller, and she texted me, "Hey, I just took the last spot." I was like, "Holy shit! That means I can waitlist surf," which is apparently, according to Regina, I waitlist surf more than I actually race. So, get ready. No one's talking to you anymore, Regina. Sorry. Anyways, just go back upstairs. We're good. Anyways, but yeah, things are looking up, so I'm excited. That's my can't let it go, and getting a little more motivated. This has been a brutal summer, and I have serious FOMO, but getting back in shape ever so slowly. But yeah, and then meanwhile, you are the single most content creator. Like you're creating the most content out there out of all of us, between me, Dylan, and you. So keep chugging away because you're almost halfway there. So in the year strong. We're proud of you, even though I never show it.
I hope I can finish these last 2.
Even though
I need like a strong hardcore team for Silamo.
That's a tough race. It's a tough race, but you've even regardless of what happens, every year you're improving and you're getting better and better. I will never forget our first ever hundreds. Like I did Dino, and then you and Dylan did Lugaroo. But before that happened,
Did you see that Lugaroo is calling back all the people that got first? I only got first because I was.
Yeah, because they only have, I think
next year's
the last year.
Is the last year.
Or yeah, 27. So they have 2 more editions left, right? I don't remember, but which I kind of want to do one of them. So we'll see. But yeah, we all tackled our first 100-miler within less than a month of each other. Me, you, Dylan. But I remember before then, like because you did Luguru before and you stopped because you said it was like a mental thing. But like, just see how far you've come. Like,
See, and I want y'all
doesn't
to know the mental thing never goes away. You just learn how to like overcome it, or you expect
that's
it.
perfect.
Like,
That's a perfect way of putting it. You're never, so like for those that are trying to tackle their first 100 mile or just have the doubts never 100% go away. You just learn how to tackle them better. That's a good way of saying it. It's not like you're gonna like you've done 20 of 100 miles before, like Stephanie, 23, 24, 25, 26, so on and so forth. It's not like you're going to show up one day to a start of a 100 miler and be like, I got this shit in the bag. I mean, like some
yeah,
people
yeah.
do, but it's just like you're always going to, it's always
It's
going to be
okay to
there.
still question yourself and prove to
You're
yourself
more
that
knowledgeable that anything could happen at any time. So you start respecting the distance, but also like you've done it and you just learn to mentally adapt and help finish it. I will never stop having doubts, even in a 50K. I'm just like, holy shit, these distances are long as hell. It doesn't matter which one you're doing. You respect it and give yourself some grace. So everyone should be proud. Those of you that even listen to this podcast should, like, you probably did your long distance. Just give yourself some praise. Man. You've done some insane shit. If you're still listening to this, that's probably even harder than doing a 100 miler. So, especially with me at the helm. Stephanie, you are you're the content creator of this podcast right now. You're carrying us, unless we get a guest. So, which, but yeah. So my can't let it go is it's getting to be that time of year where everything is positive. So I'm excited and excited for the next two races for that you're gonna have at the end of the year. So cheers to that as I go into track feeling well. I cannot wait.
Oh, yay. Well, I gotta let Lola out. She's been quiet for too long. I ran her 8 miles this morning. 8 miles.
There's a dog. Speaking of dogs, I miss you, Jenny Gwynn, even though you're no longer in Texas.
Oh, I texted her
But
yesterday.
gotta text you, but that's my shout out to you. So, thank you, Stephanie, for telling us about your latest conquests. It is amazing, and I think it's hilarious. It's hard to keep track of you because you don't even really announce some of these things. Sometimes we don't know
Right,
about it
'cause
until the podcast. And
hey, but I
so,
did shout it out once it happened. Y'all were the first I texted. I was like, I just did 115 miles in that's 28
so,
hours.
so we're excited. What's up?
I want to say it.
Say what? So Regina, I think, is going to end this episode with us. So on behalf of me, Stephanie, and Dylan, who is always in here in spirit and will be on soon, on behalf of the HappyCast and Happy Endings Trail crew, go ahead.
Happy endings!
Happy endings. There we go. All right, she's ready to run a PR at track. So we're going to end this.